You should just add channel when you specify. I'll do it right now. You can know. I mean, when you drop the What do you mean? I thought you were just running it. I said you did a good job yesterday. Like, I would just keep. And then I was saying by next round I'll.
All right, everybody, let's get started. Fort Collins, Andre Crawford. Ooh, let me turn the music down a little bit. All right, Fort Collins has Andre Crawford going up against Rolly Cook. Dan Somerville going up against Parisi. George Reed against Miriara. John Silver going up against Jesse McDowell. Jabri Alexander going up against Dave Burke. And we don't need to look at Oahu, so let's get things rolling.
Damn, 7-0 OKC in the first. Louisville trying to get back into it. 9-7 all of a sudden. Base clearing double and a sack fly. Scoreless game, bottom of the 7th from Lehigh, between Fort Collins and Lehigh, so that series remains close. Denver clinging to the 2-0 lead. New Orleans threatening. Somerville trying to stay alive in their series, up 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. And Virginia trying to close things out against San Antonio with a 3-1 lead in the 5th.
Got my mic working again. There we go.
Two-run homer, Dave Morgan gives them a 2-0 lead in the 8th inning. And then Chris Ruska singles, makes that a one-run game now. So from 7-0 to 9-8. San Antonio adds a run. Chris Marks with a solo homer. Now we got a 3-2 game. And Tampa ties it up on a Matt Purdy two-run homer in the 7th. Six outs left for the Rivermen. Trying to get one more. See if they can complete this epic comeback.
Be crazy if they do.
Tied in the 9th in Tampa. Go ahead, runner on for the money line. Fort Collins adds an insurance run in the 9th. So Lehigh gonna have 3 outs remaining. Get 5 runs now as David Betts hits a solo homer. And Somerville takes the lead in the 9th. Mark Sagong hits the sac fly to drive in Juliano. Looking to stay alive in that series. Louisville last 3 outs here. And Virginia extends their lead big time with a 3-run homer towards Yearly. Rivermen have the leadoff runner on. And Tampa ties it in the bottom of the 9th. Solo homer, B.J. Swart, the MVP.
Yeah, he's been killing it this series.
Denver gets an insurance run. It's the final in Lehigh. Fort Collins takes a 3-2 series lead with a 5-0 lead. 2 on, 2 out for the Rivermen. Last chance. They're not going to get it done, so Oklahoma City wins 9-8 and wraps up that series. Nice attempt by Chuck's team, but just too short. We go to extras in Tampa, 4-4, and down to the final out, the Mudcats here with a man on third, trying to run at plate. And they can't get it done. So 3-1, Denver stays alive in the series. They're now trailing 3-2. Virginia's pulled away from San Antonio here, and they're going to wrap up this series, it looks like, without a huge comeback by the Chili's Piscantes. And another huge home run by George Beerley. That's 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 4 for 5 on this game. It's setting some records there for the Rebels. Also look at some, a solo home run wins it for Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 10th. And They win the series 4-1 over the Somerville money line, 5-4 in that game. So a huge home run by Arturo De La Rosa. And now just 5 outs left for San Antonio. It's all but a technicality in that game. I think we're going to have two series left playing. We're going to have the Denver-New Orleans series and the Fort Collins-Lehigh series.
Both ice conference teams.
And it's the final in Virginia. They win 11-2 in dominating fashion to advance to the next round. Take a look at some series MVPs before we go on to Game 6's, Chris.
Yep.
Including Bighorn's series MVP.
PJ Swart, series MVP for Tampa.
Can you, how did he do? I'm just looking over there. Let's see his name. Oh, there he is. 12 for 23, 3 homers and 7 RBIs. That's pretty impressive. That's why Tampa brought him on. In the Virginia series, it's George Beerley. He's the guy that just went and hit 2 3-run homers in Game 5. Beerley, 9 for 21. He basically won the MVP in that last game. He had 2 home runs and 10 RBIs in the series. OKC, Victor Esquivel. I can't pronounce that. Esquivel, how did he do here?
Oh, sorry.
Can't. Oh, yes.
22 for 7, 318, 2 homers and 5 RBIs.
All right, yep. And then in the Bighorn series, it was Justin Marshall. Rule 5 draft, Justin Marshall. Making more, adding more to his impressive career resume. He went 8 for 17, 3 homers and 11 RBIs. A great series. All right, let's see how Game 6s go.
Let's see what we got up on the mound.
Nope. Oh, Jim scared me.
I know.
I was like, he just did that.
Lehigh, we got Jose Rocha going up against Jeffrey Cragen for Fort Collins.
Game 2 rematch here.
New Orleans, we got Adam Dunbar going up against Ricardo Anguiano. So
another Game 2 rematch. So Game 6 goes out.
Let's get it started.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so we become internet famous.
Please. Please and thank you.
What do you think? Denver going to pull off this comeback? Is New Orleans going to be able to shut the door? It's back in Denver. I bet New Orleans wanted to wrap this up in Game 5. New Orleans strikes first in the second inning. John Roll doubles, driving in Jeremy Blackwell. Of course, Jeremy Blackwell is the future of the Mudcats franchise with the 1-1 draft pick a couple of years ago. Denver ties it up on a Brian Garza single, driving in Victor Rivera, excuse me. I don't know where Juan came from. And Mitch Hale with a 2-run homer for Lehigh in the top of the second, gives them a 2-0 lead. Ford Collins on the board with a Nick Guzman double, driving in Lamb. Now it's 2-1 as we go to the third. Ford Collins ties it. Bobby Faust with a double, driving in Cornejo. And it's 2-2, and they have 2 on with the 1 out, so they are threatening 4 more. But they can't get it across, so it's going to remain tied going into the 4th.
Teams matching well up here in Game 6. One
out double for the Mudcats. Jamie Fonts, second base. Meanwhile, first and third, nobody out for the Roosters. Ramos singled, but the runner disappeared for New Orleans. I wonder if he got thrown out at home. The game stays 1-1. Meanwhile, first and third with nobody out turned into first and third with 2 outs. We now got the bases loaded for Bobby Faust. Already has an RBI double in this game. But he can't get it done. That stays 2-2 going in the 5th. Denver, man on second. And on third with 2 down, and they get the run in. A wild pitch is going to make Aaron Horsfall come across. And Denver takes the 2-1 lead in the 6th. Reagan with 9 strikeouts through 5 innings. He's pitching beautifully. And it's still a 2-2 game because on the other end, so is Roca. New Orleans, 2-run homer, top of the 7th, off of, I think that was off of Anguiano. Could be wrong.
It was off of Walker. Make it.
It was off the reliever, so they pulled Anguiano, and Walker gives up the 2-run homer, making it 3-2. Mudcats on top of the Dynamite. And all of a sudden, Denver down to their last 9 outs. Let's see if they can pull off a comeback. Only trailing by 1. And then third for the Mudcats now after a McKenzie double. And they drive in 2 more. Brett Hiscock with a 2-run single, making it 5-2. And all of a sudden, the Mudcats have a cushion as we go into the late innings of this game. Make it 6-2. Black Belt doubles driving in Hiscock, so 6-2. First and third with just 1 down for the Roosters. And Heisler singles. That's going to give the Roosters the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-2. One with 1 out for the Dynamite. Trying to chisel away here with the Mudcats lead. Lehigh ties it up with a solo home run in the top of the 8th. Mario Rubio makes it 3-3. And then an Aaron Horsfall triple drives in 2 to make it 6-4, followed by a sac fly. So that is a 1-run game all of a sudden with 2 outs in the 8th. Denver's not dead yet. Mr. Rivera's going to walk. Leadoff double, or excuse me, a double now for Lehigh, and then a single. So they've got 3 straight hits to start the 8th. And they take the lead on a sac fly by Barry Richardson. So 4-3, Lehigh comes back from the 1-run deficit to take the lead here. Going into, well, we're not done here at the top of the 8th. We got second and third now with a Todd Bella double, and now an intentional walk loads the bases. New Orleans adds a huge insurance run. Brian Lloyd solo homer in the top of the 9th. And Lehigh, a single driving in 2, and it is 6-3 in the 8th. So from 3-2 down entering the inning, now up 6-3, and Fort Collins has 6 outs left here in Game 6. Meanwhile, Denver coming up in the bottom of the 9th, trying to save their season. Back-to-back champions on the rope here. They've got a leadoff single by Luis Perez. Meanwhile, leadoff double by the Roosters. So tying run at the plate in both games. And Fort Collins drives one in with a single, 6-5. After a solo home run, I missed that by Brian Foster. And that's it. The Mudcats close out the Dynamite, and they win Game 6, 7-5. They win the series 4-2. And they'll be moving on to the next round. Fort Collins ties it up with a sac fly. This game's fucking crazy. It's 6-6 as we go to the bottom of the 8th, so swings back and forth between the Scrapples and the Roosters here. And we are tied going to the 9th inning. So 1 in the 7th for Fort Collins, 4 in the top of the 8th for Lehigh, 3 in the bottom of the 8th for Fort Collins. Some quick outs for the Scrapples here in the 9th. Ryan Tunning's going to single, and then we'll go to second on a wild pitch, so runner in scoring position. A Barry Richardson single makes it first and third. Todd Bella, who had 230 hits this season, can't get it done. He's going to line out to trans 2 runners, and onto the bottom half of the inning we go. Todd Bella, I think, was 4th all-time this season in hits in a single season. So he had a great year. Leadoff double by Aaron Heisler, and then an intentional walk to McLaughlin. But first and second with nobody out for the Roosters. Scrapple's going to have to work out of a jam, keep their season alive. Ground out, and then that's it. It's going to be a sac fly by Brian Foster in the bottom of the 9th, winning it for the Roosters, and they wrap it up in 6, 4-2, as they beat the Lehigh Valley Scrapples 7-6 on a come-from-behind win, down 6-3 going to the 8th. And they come out on top 7-6. Quite a comeback there for Fort Collins, and no Game 7s here in the wild card round. Going to wrap it up for this series. We'll check the final 2 MVPs here, and then we'll drop a file, and if everybody's in by tonight, we'll go games 1 through 4 later tonight, I think. Right, Chris? It's on you, I guess.
Absolutely. We'll get them done. Get on to next season.
Yeah, on to the next season. We get the Paddlers back in action. Let's take a look at the MVPs of the New Orleans-Denver series. Oh, Lehigh, Fort Collins. Yeah, Brian Foster. So the catcher, Brian Foster, 12 for 25, 2 homers, 4 RBIs in a very low-scoring series. So it seems. And New Orleans and Denver, John Roll, first baseman for the Mudcats, had a nice series, 8 for 21, 2 homers and 7 RBIs.
I will also say, too, probably Game 6 hero as well. He set the go-ahead homer.
Yep. That's probably part of the reason he won. So the dynasty ends for Jay. He was back-to-back champions, but moving forward, no one can blame fuckery for his next championship, which I'm sure is going to come.
All right, we'll get this We'll get this
good
file
round,
dropped.
Yep, and we'll see you maybe tonight.
Later.